It's the Ross Tucker Football Podcast.
Yeah, it is. But it's not just any Ross Tucker Football Podcast. It is a first and probably only Power Rankings Monday that we're doing a little bit differently because of the Labor Day holiday. And yes, I look on YouTube, youtube.com/RossTuckerNFL. Look a little bit different because I'm doing this from the road and sound a little bit different. Everything will be back to normal on Tuesday. Don't worry, I'll be back in my home studio on Tuesday. We are presented always by DraftKings. DraftKings, of course, is America's #1 rated sports book, and they've got so many ridiculous offers going on right now. Like the Survivor pool is amazing. The Kansas City no-brainer 100. I mean, they're handing out free money essentially right now. I'll give you the details on that a little bit later. Spread the word winner will be announced on Friday. It's the easiest contest in the galaxy, and somebody new can win every week. Last week it was Shady the DJ or DJ Shady or someone, and all he did was like one of our posts on Instagram at RossTuckerPod. I'm at RossTuckerNFL. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. YouTube is youtube.com/RossTuckerNFL. You can also hit us up at RossTuckerPod across the board, Twitter and Instagram as well. We will have a sponsor confirmation email winner a little bit later in the week on Friday. We're giving out another Madden code. You guys know how to get it. DraftKings, you got to throw the code Ross in. If you deposit, that's the best way to do it. DraftKings, put the code Ross in, deposit. You can deposit no matter where you are. Let me know. You have a great chance to win the Madden code at the end of the week. I'm so fired up to do the first Power Rankings. Going to surprise you a little bit here. It's big show time.
It's time for the all-important Power Rankings.
Nice.
So
I like it, Brian.
Power Rankings time. Let's clarify.
Yeah, well, yeah, whatever. It's the big show is the Power Rankings.
All right.
The worst team in the history of the NFL is...
At number 32, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, listen, as of even when we're recording this Friday morning before I have a game, Army against Middle Tennessee State on Saturday, and then all weekend traveling and whatever. So they've already had a mass exodus that we've talked about. Ngakoue and Fournette and Ronnie Harrison. And that doesn't even take into account the guys that they moved on from. Dante Fowler a couple years ago, Calais Campbell this offseason, Jalen Ramsey last year, A.J. Boye. I mean, it's unbelievable. Let's be honest. They're not really trying to win this year. They are trying to rebuild.
Number 31, the Washington Football Club.
I don't really think Adrian Peterson and his release had much to do with this. They've got a young quarterback in a new system. The left side of their offensive line is highly questionable. They really don't appear to have very good weapons other than Terry McLaurin. It's not a recipe for success. They've got all kinds of off-the-field issues. So combine all those things, and they're 31st.
Number 30, the Carolina Panthers.
So I am bullish on the Panthers long-term. I like Matt Rule, and I think he'll get them turned around. I like the youth movement on defense and getting all those guys that they got, like Yetur Gross-Matos and Jeremy Chin and all those guys, right? But not this year. Not this year for Carolina. Too much change, too much youth, and we'll see what Teddy Bridgewater can do when he's not around an absolutely loaded squad around him.
Number 29, the New York Jets.
This is probably lower than other people have them, but I feel like they're a mess right now. I mean, Denzel Mims hasn't practiced till recently. Rashad Perriman having issues. Le'Veon Bell evidently has looked awful throughout training camp. Defensively, Mosley opted out. They traded Jamal Adams. I think Greg Williams is a good D coordinator. He's not a miracle worker. I don't think the Jets are going to be very good.
Number 28, the Cincinnati Bengals.
So this is showing some faith in Joe Burrow and the weapons around him. Because if you listen to the Fantasy Feast podcast last Wednesday, my O-line rankings, I have the Bengals as the worst O-line in the league. So worst O-line in the league with a rookie quarterback, no offseason program, no preseason games, not exactly ideal. But I still think the Bengals are going to win 5 games, maybe 6, primarily because I think Joe Burrow really is that good.
But are they going to win against number 27 this week, the LA Chargers?
So, well, you'll have to listen to Tuesday's Even Money podcast to find that out, Brian. Little tease right there for you. You have to listen to the Even Money podcast to find that out. As for the Chargers, another team I'm lower on than other people. You know, they lose Derwin James for the season again, so that's killer. I don't think Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starter very long. I think it'll be Justin Herbert. I don't like their left tackle situation. And I just don't think that they're going to be as good as other people seem to think they are.
Number 26, the Chicago Bears.
Second team in a row. Other people have them as like 7-8 wins. I think they're going to bounce back, yo-yo the quarterbacks, Trubisky, Foles, Trubisky all year. And I think that's a recipe for disaster. I think I've said recipe 2 or 3 times already. Maybe I need to get food off my mind. Although I did have already, Brian, 2 sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches this morning. Man, I mean, those are good. Those are good. I even got a smoothie at McDonald's, first time ever. I was just in a smoothie mood. I got a
pineapple one?
Banana. I'm sure fresh. They only have one, strawberry banana.
Oh, okay. They used to have a pineapple one. All right.
Moving on.
Giants.
Well, so anyway, so for the Bears, I just think they're going to be up and down all year. And I just don't think they're going to be very good. We'll see.
Giants, 25.
So before I tell you about the Giants and really get into the meat of the Giants roster, I want to get into the meat that is Omaha Steaks. It's been a while since I've talked to you guys about Omaha Steaks. It is absolutely ridiculous how much food they give you for the price. There is nothing better. And look, we all know the deal right now. You don't really want to be going to the grocery store. It's crowded. You got to wear masks, all those things. Go to omahasteaks.com, enter the code Tucker into the search bar. And for this week, Omaha Steaks will add 4 burgers and 4 gourmet jumbo franks free to your order, which is absolutely awesome. Again, order the Grill Out Favorites package and fill your freezer with enough gourmet food to keep your freezer stocked for the long haul. And don't forget about the 4 free Omaha Steaks burgers and 4 free gourmet jumbo franks exclusive to our audience. Visit omahasteaks.com and type Tucker in the search bar to shop gourmet grill packs today. Get whatever gourmet grill pack you want at omahasteaks.com. Tucker.
We're on the Giants.
Oh, yeah. See, you know what? That's the problem. You say a team, then I get kind of like caught up in it. So anyway, so I give the credit for the Giants. I mean, signing Logan Ryan and, you know, trading for Isaac. Yeah, like they're trying this year. They're trying to be better. They want to show improvement. They want to make strides. It's a lot of change for a first-time head coach and new coordinators. But I think they'll be okay. Like I think the Giants are like a 6 to 8 win team. I guess I kind of have them at the bottom of like the group that's not bad in my mind. The other teams, I think until the Chargers, they're bad teams. Chargers and Bears, they're like Chargers, Bears, Giants, next few teams, they're like 6 to 8 win teams.
Number 24, the Miami Dolphins.
So I think you could easily flop this and put Bears and Chargers ahead of the Dolphins. But, man, they did a lot of good things last year, even with a roster that was bereft of talent. Look it up, Bri. Bereft, real word. B-E-reft. B-E-R-E-F-T. Anyway, bereft. Have you ever used that word?
I believe I have, yes.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I doubt it. Anyway, the Dolphins were bereft of talent last year. They still won 5 games. Now they got a lot more talent. And I'm betting on Brian Flores to get them to 7 wins. The issue is when they go to Tua. Like, I think if they had Fitzpatrick the whole year, as we said on the Even Money podcast, I would love the over. But it's a little bit tougher when you don't know when they're going to switch to Tua.
Number 23, the Los Angeles Rams.
Not really feeling the Rams. I still think they have offensive line issues. They don't really have a running back. We'll see. Maybe Cam Akers ends up playing really, really well. I think they're the worst team in their division. So I got them here.
Number 22, the Atlanta Falcons.
Another, I would say, slightly below average team. I feel like we are in 7-9ville right now. I know the Falcons finished the year strong, but they're still really lacking at corner, which is a problem. And then, they're counting on Dante Fowler to provide the pass rush. I don't know if he will. We'll see what happens with the right side. They just have a lot of issues still.
Number 21, the Cleveland Browns.
So this is right about where I think it starts to turn to teams I think have a good chance to win 8 games. Cleveland Browns D-line is nasty, and I happen to think that Baker Mayfield's going to step it up this year, and Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be healthy, and that's going to go a long way for that football team. So I kind of like the Browns. I wouldn't be surprised if they win 8 or 9 games this year.
Number 20, the Tennessee Titans.
So, look, the Titans traded Jarrell Casey. They lost Logan Ryan. They lost Jack Conklin. We'll see. It doesn't look like they're going to get much from Vic Beasley anytime soon. And I guess I'll believe that Tannehill can do it again when I see it. I think they're about an 8-8 football team. All these teams now are kind of jumbled together.
Number 19, the Houston Texans.
I just don't think they're losing as much with Hopkins gone as other people do. I think you heard Greg Cosell on last Thursday's Ross Tucker Football podcast, talking about the fact that they still have a pretty deep receiving core. So the way I'm looking at it is I still think Deshaun Watson will find a way to get them to 8 wins.
Number 18, the Denver Broncos.
Really interesting team. Really exciting team. I'm fascinated to see what Drew Lock can do. One of the coolest things in the NFL is when there's a young quarterback that shows you potential and you're excited. Like, we might have another guy. The Broncos might have their quarterback for the next 10 years. I hope they do. We'll find out.
Number 17, the Arizona Cardinals.
I think most people are kind of expecting the Cardinals to take another step this year. They've done some good things with the roster. Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury year 2, so they have continuity, unlike some others. I think they're going to have a pretty solid football team.
Number 16, the Minnesota Vikings.
The Minnesota Vikings. You've heard it now, right?
Yeah, 17 times last week. Last year.
No, but I mean, you've heard the song now.
Yes, I don't know. Is Lizzo still a big thing? Is she still popular?
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't hear that song as much anymore.
Okay.
No man on the Minnesota Viking. The Minnesota Viking. Anyway. Oh, by the way, I got a great tweet from somebody at Ross Tucker NFL that said, I can't remember what joke I said. They said, it's fine, Ross. Just no more with the Dumb and Dumber IOUs. You've done that 3 days in a row last week.
Fair point.
Honestly, I talk so many radio stations, I don't remember what I say to what. I don't remember what I say to you guys. So thank you for keeping me honest. So the Vikings, I think the Ngakoue move was big. I really do. They still have some deficiencies on the O-line and in the secondary. So it's going to have to be a lot of Dalvin Cook and Cousins and Thielen, and the D-line is going to have to be dominant for them to have a chance to get back to the playoffs.
Number 15, the Detroit Lions.
How about that? The Detroit Lions. This is primarily just a healthy Stafford. Healthy Stafford is big. You go back and watch the tape of Matthew Stafford last year. He was really good. I mean, I'm not going to say he was playing at an MVP level, but Matthew Stafford was playing really, really well. In fact, I know how you can go back and watch the tape of Matthew Stafford last year. It's NFL Game Pass. You can catch every snap from every game with full replays. I think the coolest thing about it is probably the condensed games. They take all the commercials out, even like in between plays. It's just play. It's awesome. Highly encourage you to get NFL Game Pass. All you have to do is go to NFL.com/Game Pass to start your free trial. It's a free trial. Why not go to NFL.com/Game Pass, start your free trial, check out Matthew Stafford or whoever you want to check out.
Done with the Lions?
I am done with the Lions.
All right. The number 14, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. That's weird to say.
The Raiders. You know what's really weird is like there used to be no L teams. Like when you go through the teams alphabetical, there used to be no L teams, right? Now there's 3. Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles Chargers, Los Angeles Rams, all 1, 2, 3, like right next to each other. These are the things that keep me up at night, Brian. These are the things I find interesting. See, every once in a while, I let you guys into my little nerdiness, right? Like I got a little, not a lot. I'm the coolest guy you've ever met, but a little bit of nerdiness, and that's okay. I actually think a little bit of nerdiness is cool and is good. So I noticed that. Nerd alert. I think the Raiders are going to be good. I think the Raiders, well, you guys heard me last week. I think the Raiders are going to the playoffs. Their O-line is good. I like Jacobs. I like Ruggs. I think Carr's going to play better. I like the linebackers they got. I like the Raiders.
Number 13, the Indianapolis Colts.
So the Colts have the number 1 offensive line in the league in my mind. They've got some real pieces on defense, especially getting DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard. Those guys are key. And there's a big split in how people feel about Phillip Rivers. I think Rivers is going to play well. I think Rivers is going to have a good year.
I don't remember ever seeing the Patriots this low. You got them at number 12.
No, they haven't been. And maybe they'll prove me wrong pretty quickly. They had a lot of guys opt out. We'll see how well Cam plays. You know, they just cut Sanu. They've got issues at right tackle with that opt-out. No Dante Scarnecchia. They'll probably figure out a way to be higher than this, Brian, but this is where I'm starting them.
Number 11, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think the Steelers are going to the playoffs too. Look, their defense is nasty. Dupree and Watt and Hayward and Tuitt and Minkah Fitzpatrick and Devin Bush flying around. They got a good O-line still. Now everything's positive about Claypool. You heard M-Dub on Friday's Ross Tucker Football Podcast talking about Chase Claypool, and now you got Big Ben back. I don't see how the Steelers don't end up being a top 10 team by the time this is all said and done, unless there's something really wrong with Ben.
Number 10, the Green Bay Packers.
So I don't think they're as good as they were last year, 13-3. I think they'll probably, but I still think they're going to win like 10 games. I still think the over 8.5 is a great bet. Look, they still have the Smith brothers on the outside. They still have Kenny Clark. I mean, they still have some dudes on defense on the D-line, and they got a ticked off Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he's not happy they took Jordan Love. He's trying to handle it as best he can, but he's not happy about that. So I really believe that the Packers are still going to be a 10-11 win team.
Number 9, the Philadelphia Eagles.
So the issue for the Eagles right now, the biggest one is just health. You know, they've got O-line issues. We'll see how the lineup shakes out week 1. They've got health issues at a bunch of different places. We'll see when Hargrave can play and Rager and some of these other guys. So I think the Eagles have a chance to be higher than this. The injury bug has really bit them.
Number 8, the Seattle Seahawks.
So the Seahawks, people are down on them. They won a lot of close games last year. I'm Russell Wilson for life, bro. And now they got Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Josh Gordon. Like, I just believe they'll find a way, even in shootouts, to win enough games to be a top 10 team in the league.
Number 7, the Buffalo Bills.
My Bills. This is about as high as they've ever been. If you've listened to me all offseason, I am very bullish on the Bills, or should I say I'm billish on the Bills. Do you get it, Bri?
Got it.
You get it?
Hang on, I got to write that down.
But wait a minute. They really should be called the Buffalo Bulls if you think about it. Like, that's their mascot. It's not a bill. It's a buffalo. Whatever. Anyway, I don't even know.
Or a buffalo?
What's that?
Is it a bison?
A bison is a buffalo.
Right. Or is there a difference, though? That's what I'm asking.
I'm sure there's some, like, little difference, but they're the same family. They're the same species, I think.
Yeah.
Remember, isn't it with species, there's, like, 3 names or something? Like, their first 2 are the same. They're like a Homo sapien bison, Homo sapien buffalo, something like that.
I think Homo sapiens are just people, but I could be wrong.
I know, but that's the only fancy lingo term I can remember right now.
Okay.
So I think the Bills have a loaded roster. I think Josh Allen's taking a step in year 3. I like the Buffalo Bills.
Number 6, the Dallas Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys? That's up there among one of the most annoying things in the league. And you know what bothers me, Bri? Have I totally forgot about Miami Dolphins, number 24, or San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Chargers, 27th. I got to do that, man. That's part of what I do. How about them Cowboys? I got them 6th. You know, you're not hearing a lot of noise out of there. It seems like it's a relatively quiet camp for them. You know, they seem like they're healthy. I haven't heard a lot of injuries coming out of there. I think the Cowboys are poised to have a pretty good year.
Number 5, the Tampa Bay Bucks, and they got a new quarterback.
Yeah, you might have heard of him. His name's Tom Brady. He's kind of a big deal. So, look, I think they're low positions. I think their offensive line's better than people give them credit for. And they got Tom Brady. And by the way, their defense is a lot better than people realize too.
Number 4, the San Francisco 49ers.
Are there any other teams that have like songs or theme songs or things that I should do? Like I wanted to do San Francisco 49ers, San Francisco Niners, San Francisco.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't too. So, look, I have concerns about the Niners from a Super Bowl hangover standpoint. But they still got a good squad, man. I mean, their D-line's still nasty, but even like D Ford and Nick Bosa are a little banged up, so that's a little bit concerning. Something to keep an eye on there. So that's one thing I've noticed. And they're having some issues on the interior O-line, right guard, which is something to keep an eye on. And we'll see. They got some injuries at wide receiver. So there's still 4. There's a lot of faith right now in that roster, and Kyle Shanahan is what I'm doing.
Number 3, the New Orleans Saints.
Was torn between having the Saints be 3 or 2. I went with 3. You know, there are reports as we're recording this, they're going to try to get Jadeveon Clowney. That would be crazy. I mean, they've got an awesome, awesome roster. I clearly think they're the best team in the NFC. I think they're going to the Super Bowl. I think they got a great chance to win it. I think the Saints are going to be awesome this year.
Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens.
So the Ravens are having some interior offensive line issues themselves. I'm not overly surprised. You lose Marshall Yanda. He was kind of the rock for them. They're trying to figure that out. But we got to remember, man, I mean, they were 14-2 last year, and they rolled people. I mean, they dominated last year. You almost lose sight of that because of the playoff loss to the Titans, but that doesn't take away everything else they did all year. It was really, really impressive. I'm going to go ahead and keep the Ravens at number 2.
Russ's number 1 team, which is totally meaningless, but it's fun and will get many of you incredibly annoyed, is...
It's the defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Absolutely incredible that they are number 1, and yet some of the offers that you can get from DraftKings right now for the Chiefs are absolutely insane. 101 points. 101 for their game against the Texans on Thursday night. Are you kidding me? Plus, they've got the survivor pool that you can enter. Right now, don't even wait for me to talk about the number one team, the Chiefs. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code ROSS when you sign up to get this can't-miss, no-brainer offer. Absolutely unbelievable. It's code ROSS. It's a no-brainer. Get in the survivor pool if you want. That's free for anybody as a survivor pool. And then you can place a bet on the Chiefs, Kansas City, which is huge, getting 101 points. So it's free money. You must be 21 or older. New Jersey, PA only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And as for the Chiefs, Bri, here's the deal. They're clearly the number one team, I think, right now. I mean, look, I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl because I think it's too hard to win the Super Bowl back-to-back. A lot of Chiefs fans mad at me. I wrote the column about that. They're all mad. They're all, up in arms. But they're still the number one team. They still deserve to be the number one team by what they did last year, winning the Super Bowl, by everybody they have coming back this year. They deserve to be the number one team until someone is able to defeat them. Should mention, by the way, any of these sponsors you hear on here, you are eligible to get the Madden code, which is awesome. Shout outs to Pizza Boy Brewing, DynastyFreaks.com, Sporticulture. Cannot wait to check my email, ross@rosstucker.com, to see how many of you want to win the Madden code this week. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your holiday. Hopefully you guys listen to this on the way to a cookout or whatever. I think we're done here.
Thanks for listening to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Make sure to also subscribe to the Fantasy Feast, Even Money, Business of Sports, and College Draft. All available at Apple Podcasts, RossTucker.com, or wherever podcasts can be found.